under far better terms. That's really worth doing. The other part of that story actually is I have 4 minutes left. Okay. The other part of that story is another product that Fog Creek started doing. Now I had to move over to Stack Exchange. Stack Exchange is now 75 employees, and we're building a 30,000 square foot office in Manhattan, which with a kitchen and everything, it's going to be fancy and expensive, and it's going to cost us like $5 million to build out, but the landlord's paying some of that. So we're doing like these amazing big things at Stack Exchange. We have a lot of employees. We have an office in Denver. We have an office in London. We have, like I said, something, maybe let's say 50 million global users, if you allow me to double count some of them. And we're a top 100 website, so that took a lot of work. I became CEO eventually of Stack Exchange, and that became a full-time job. And it turns out you can't be CEO of two companies at once because of the IP problem. If you invent something, it's both companies would claim to own it. So I only work for Stack Exchange, although I'm still on the board of Fog Creek, and I dip my toes in there every once in a while. And what they started working on at Fog Creek, by the way, is now, let's say, 45 employees, and it's a cash machine that just, because FogBugs is like a minced money every month, and we're kind of like a kibbutz, and so at the end of the year in July, we take all the profit and divide it up among the employees based on seniority. So whatever money is left in the business at the end of the year goes to the employees, depending on how long they've been there. We don't dividend it out to shareholders. We just pay it in bonuses to the employees. So if you've been a Fog Creek employee for several years, you're probably doubling your salary on that profit share. So that's just a thing that mints cash, because we're not really. It's not that. We keep selling the product long after we've written it. Although we are still working on that one. Recently, Fog Creek launched a new product called Trello. This launched about a year ago, and that's actually a get big fast land grab business as well. Trello is online kind of organization software, Trello. Go check it out; it's really awesome. And in the year since we launched, we went from 0 to I think about 800,000 users, and it's doing great. It needs a dev team of about 10 people. We have to work on every stupid mobile platform under the sun. So we got somebody working on iPhone, and somebody working on Android, and somebody working on Windows Surface. And no, that was my idea. And the web app, and adding new features all the time. And we don't actually understand exactly how we're going to make money off of Trello. We're not quite sure about that, because we thought free was a really good price if we wanted to reduce friction so we could get big really, really fast and get all those wonderful network effects and have this massive land grab where Trello takes over the world of project management. And eventually, as everybody here has said, we'll figure out some way to make money on that. In the meantime, I got 10 employees working on that, and a rack full of servers that I got to add a new server to every couple of weeks. And that costs money. But we have this lovely cash cow of FogBugs that's sort of spewing out extra money. So we asked the shareholders of Fog Creek, which is the employees, we said, hey, can we use your bonus that we would have paid you in profit share and just plow that back into Trello, and you're never going to see it again? And they said yes. And we didn't have to go to a VC, and we didn't have to go to an outside VC. And by the time, if we ever get to the point where we just need a whole data center in Oregon somewhere in order to run Trello, which will happen, and we do need VC at that point. At that point, we're going in with traction, with an established team, with a product that's already proven itself, and you can take an investment on very, very good terms, even if you want to. And so at that point, I imagine you wouldn't give up any control of the company. Even now, I think if we raised money, we wouldn't give up any control. You'd probably still continue to have an absolute control of the board at that stage, and you wouldn't take very much dilution because the valuation would be so high, even though we don't actually make any money. So I'm sort of out of time. But this is the important part of what I've been trying to spew here at about 1 million words per minute. This is normally a 2-hour speech. You have to decide if you're going to be a slow growth company or a get big fast company, because anytime you try to straddle those two lines, painful things happen to you. I'm traumatized, absolutely traumatized, because Juno Online Services, where I worked for years, was actually competing against AOL. And AOL was just going all out, sending everybody these damn floppy disks so that everybody would sign up for AOL, because it was a land grab. There was a land grab going on. And AOL had Instant Messenger, and Instant Messenger had network effects. And AOL had lock-in, because once you had your AOL email address, you never wanted to move to somewhere else, because you'd have to tell 400 people about your new email address. So AOL was building this remarkable land grab business with all kinds of network effects and lock-in and stuff like that. And Juno had every single one of those things, but was kind of growing in a more bootstrappy way because they were afraid to spend the money on the stupid little floppy disks. And now Juno is a dial-up ISP, and I don't even know what AOL is anymore. But for a while, AOL was a lot bigger. So I was traumatized by that kind of failure to commit to one mode of bootstrapping or the other mode of getting really big fast. And I think you should decide what you want to do. You can really control your own destiny if you're willing to take a few more years and bootstrap with a small, kind of reliable business and use that to build your next stage, which is your Facebook, Netscape, Groupon for squirrels. Thank you very much.